Did you know that today marked the explosive first day of Clock's trial? Courtroom reporters were quick to capture every chilling detail. Day one of Clock's trial is over. The prosecutors are not ready. They're stuttering many words, not answering the judge's questions, and not supplying much evidence to defend Clock's lawyer's defense. Additionally, they noted that Kay Flock's emotions at the end of his first trial day were understandable. But when his attorneys leaned in and whispered that they were going to win with such confidence, his legal team wasted no time in releasing a message from him while he was still behind bars.
Talk to them, Flock. Talk to them, my dog. Soon come home, man. You got these little boys walking around with no jewels, Flock. They need you. They need you, Flock.
However, the details of the crime must be understood in order to determine when he will be released. Rapper Kay Flock, whose real name is Kevin Perez, was implicated in the death of Oscar Hernandez on December 23, 2021, according to the trial. On that day, you can see Flock strolling along a sidewalk in the city together with two other people. He is dressed in designer jeans and a blue coat with a SHYY mask. As Flock passes a barbershop, Oscar Hernandez spots him from inside and rushes out to yell at him, asking what he is looking at because he and Kay Flock had a past together. They got into a heated argument and started yelling back and forth. After the argument was over, Oscar Hernandez was seen leaving Flock, but as he tried to flee to the barbershop, Flock swiftly pulled out his gun and struck him several times. Fortunately for Oscar, witnesses at the scene called 911 in an attempt to save his life, and paramedics arrived on the scene and transported him to the nearby New York hospital, where he tragically passed away. Flock fled the scene as soon as he stopped firing, leaving Oscar lying on the sidewalk alone. All that remained at the scene were shell casings and Oscar's slides, which he was wearing. For a full day, the NYPD was clueless about what had happened. They collected the security footage from the crime scene, but were unable to identify the masked man. At this point, they looked to the public for assistance and shared this image of the suspect. Flock had posted pictures of himself wearing the blue designer jacket he was wearing during the crime to Oscar just hours before he committed the crime, but fans noticed this once word of the incident spread, and they were able to identify the person. During his final hours as a free man, he hired one of the top attorneys in the business, who met with him and walked into the 30th precinct of the New York Police Department before making the statement. Yesterday, I accompanied Kevin as he self-surrendered to detectives in the 30th precinct. Arrangements were immediately made with NYPD once I learned he was wanted. As to the charges against him, we have begun our investigation into these allegations. We will address Ball once we have had a chance to review the case and further investigate the DA's noteworthy disclosure. After reviewing all the evidence the feds had gathered, Clock's attorney firmly concluded that Kay Flock had acted in self-defense.
The ground and is found. He's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. We consider that to be self-defense.
So he did keep him in self-defense?
That's what the allegation is. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case, but the government claims that he pulled the... But at the same time, the person that was ground had his hand on a illegal loaded, apparently about Kevin.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense, and I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear he's going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want to?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull it.
Soon after, the NYPD issued a statement on the incident, suggesting it stemmed from a long-standing feud between street teams, mainly tied to Clock's deep ties with the Bronx-based street crew. It's well documented that Flock had a heavy presence in street affairs, often controlling the narrative, but that also made him a prime target when rivals struck back. This shattered Flock's reputation in the rap game almost overnight, with his best friend admitting. Interview 04:04/0435, which is when rapper Top 5 reached out to Kay Flock while he was in jail, and Flock had a powerful message for his fans.
Okay, but so I saw some fans who were off at both me and academics after Kay Flock got locked up. Because, well, just because I guess in our tone when we talked about it, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, y'all don't even know what's going on.
However, as Clock's attorneys prepared his defense, new trouble surfaced. Fans were quick to react when news broke that Clock had been indicted by a federal grand jury on multiple charges of racketeering conspiracy, also known as RICO charges. K-Flock just caught a RICO, it's over. DJ Academics also said feds just unsealed an indictment on K-Flock for a RICO charge, the mandatory minimum. If he doesn't beat those charges of snitch his life in prison, he still is facing state charges that have him locked up. It's similar to how the feds handled YNW, according to Melly and Boozy. The federal government will stop at nothing to take you down.
They wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after.
In response to the RICO charges, Clock's attorneys firmly stated, "We're not surprised by the federal charges, as we've been fighting Kevin's state charges for over a year now. Considering the incident was a clear act of self-defense, it wasn't a strong charge, but the fact that it's now being used as a basis for a penalty charges. Extraordinary on video, it is crystal clear that Kevin was about to be affected after attempting to walk away from the other person. Only then did Kevin use an item to defend himself, and another from an armed team member who was about to pull out his item from his pocket." As the feds pulled every possible trick to build a case against K-Flock, his co-defendant got caught up in the storm of intense media scrutiny. K-Flock co-defendant Sticky says they came to him to ask him to snitch on K-Flock, and he told them, "No, I'll see you in 30 years, as he shared this Instagram post of Sticky and K-Flock on the street with a caption saying, "Did stuff at RL together, guess we got to defend our freedom against these people together." They said, "Tell us about Kevin, help yourself, 30 years is a long time, well guess I'll see you in 30 years. This is both good and bad news for K-Flock. While his co-defendant is staying loyal, the case involves more than just the two of them, with at least 15 others targeted under the same charge. The chances of someone flipping on him are dangerously high. It's similar to Lil Durk's case, where rumors of snitching ran wild, but were later shut down when Durk himself clarified. Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vinny filed for protective custody when they came to court together this week. This week, Durk's best friend Beza stepped in, urging everyone to stay calm and not jump to conclusions.
I don't know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man, for real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on, for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all done threw the jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on, for real. My kids, y'all really just be running. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the...
Amid all the chaos, K-Flock finally reached out to us. How he ended up in jail remains unclear, but recent pictures paint a stark contrast from the confident, fearless K-Flock we all knew. The call lasted only about 20 seconds, which I can't share due to copyright, but it gave us a raw glimpse into how K-Flock looks now and where his head